And he's playing with the world #1 Scotty Scheffler in the final pairing.
Yeah, the conversation's simple. You try to approach this round just like any other. That being said, we know it's not. We know what the stakes are. He knows where he stands. But he'll go out today with a number in mind. I'm sure he's going to try to get to 10 under and stick to the game plan that he and Dave have set up, the previous 3 days. But the conversation, we just stick to the same process that we do every other day, really.
Now, the two of you started working back in September of 2025. At the time, Wyndham was struggling a bit with his game. What did you see in his swing that had maybe gotten away from the swing that helped him win the U.S. Open in 2023 at LACC?
Yeah, it was pretty obvious when I started working with him last fall. I tried to look back at some film from 2023 and 2024 when he was playing his best golf, and really history leaves clues. So what I saw in front of me that first day that I worked with him looked drastically different than when he was playing his best golf. So he had gotten really long at the top of his backswing. His lead wrist was really cupped, and that put the club face in an open position. From there, it just led to more and more difficulties with him squaring up the face. So we really got his club face in a better position, added some width to the downswing, and that lets him pivot through the shot much better now.
I overswing. How do you shorten your swing? What drills do you do for that?
Okay, easy drill for you to do. All I want you to do is make a swing, and if you collapse and get long, you'll see how close your hands are to your head. You want to try and get your hands as far away from you can at the top of the swing. So when you get to the top of your swing, you're trying to push your right hand and right arm as far from your head as you can. Now, your swing's going to get shorter, but in reality, your arc is a lot bigger. By doing this, you've now created a much bigger arc on the way down. You can make a long swing from here, and you have a very narrow arc. Actually, the guy that swings this way or the guy that swings this way, this short-looking swing is a much bigger arc than the long swing. Do it not by trying to keep your left arm straight. Just feel like you're trying to keep your hands as far away from your head as you can keep them. If you get your hands out here, you get them in front of your body a lot easier. You'll see a guy like John Daly who swings way past parallel and still hits the ball good, and then you have a guy like Jeff Sluman who doesn't get to parallel. I think the important thing on your takeaway is if you get your wrist cock in there a little earlier, in other words, you get a little earlier wrist set, you're not going to have to swing as long. You've created a better leverage. The reason this works good, because you can keep your right hand, if you're a right-handed player, away from your head. You keep this out away from your head, it's easier to get your arms in front of your body on the way down. If you swing past parallel without being double jointed or something in this thumb or your wrist, everything is breaking down here. Now your hands are in close to your head when you come down, and you've got to throw this club at the golf ball. So the big key, I would think, is a little wrist set it off the ball, and then feel like your hands are as far away from your head as they get. If you get to parallel, that's fine. If you don't, you've made enough wrist cock to allow you to have something to hit the ball with.
But if you get that early wrist set and you're making a good turn, your body doesn't really want to go to parallel, does it?
No, it doesn't. And people get in trouble by trying to make what they call a one-piece takeaway, this type of thing. And what you see when you get to here, the only place you can go is in from there. So what happens, this caves in, it bounces out, and you end up throwing it. What I would tell you to do is just make a few swings in front of a mirror, take the club back till your body's finished turning, and look where the club shaft is. You'll find that most of the time your club shaft will only be right here. Well, that's as far as you need to go. You've got a full wrist cock. You unwind from there, and you're able to hit the ball a lot more solidly. I'd rather see you take, if you want to, exaggerate this a little, feel like your wrists hinge more this way, and then don't do anything but just turn your shoulders. If we did it in a drill, if I told you to tee up some balls, pick your wrist straight up like that, turn your shoulders, you'd be in a perfect position every time. And that's the feeling of letting the club head go first, a little wrist cock, and a nice turn sets you in a good position at the top.